No, a lot of them are actually just outright trying to say that women are bad, and a lot of the content creators that are trying to say women are bad are actually kind of hypocritical and I think kind of projecting their self onto women, to be honest. Like the claim that women can't love you very deeply when, like, I mean, this is coming from Myron Gaines. Can he love a woman, like, when he's got such a deep hatred of them? No. Or the claim that women only view men as utilities when it's actually them who, they're like, oh no, we don't want to know about a woman's personality, like, because we don't like women. It's only beta males that want to listen to women, so we only want her for, like, sex, a trophy girlfriend. Maybe you wanted to have your kids, but you wanted to shut up and just be like your mum and do housework and all that for you. It's but you know, also they sort of like some of the advice. I think it's more likely to lead men, if men follow this advice, it's more likely to lead them to finding toxic women because they sort of are telling guys, instead of telling men to sort of find a nice, kind, caring, loving woman, they seem to be telling men that, like, all women are these insensitive, horrible, selfish creatures, and then sort of telling these men that, like, in order to have a relationship with a woman, you've got to put your foot down, you've got to be in control, you've got to tell her what to do or else she's going to walk all over you, you mustn't ever show any weakness because women hate weakness. They're encouraging these guys to view their future partner as an enemy. And I think, well, first of all, if you're going to convince these guys that women are just these horrible, selfish creatures, I think some of these guys are more likely to pick toxic women because they're not expecting any better. But also, if you're going to teach them to go into a relationship viewing the woman as an enemy, like, you're not going to be able to love her if your guard is up all the time and you're tense all the time and you're like, oh god, I've got to put my foot down, I've got to make sure I'm strong so she doesn't walk all over me, I mustn't show any weakness. Like, you're not going to be able to care for her, and she's probably going to get fed up of it and not want a guy like that. Some of the advice is incredibly childish. It's, I would say, abusive. You know, it's almost like they're like, well, we've got to run women down and put women down because if they have too high self-esteem, they'll think they're better than us, so we have to put them down so they think we're the prize. Or these guys will actually outright say stuff like that women have to see that they can be replaced at any moment and you have to keep them on their toes. They give advice like flirt with other women in front of them to make them jealous and stuff like that. And I kind of think, like, this is incredibly childish. When you bear in mind that these content creators that are giving this advice, they are not like naive 20-year-old lads. They're like guys in their 30s or even older, okay, that should know better, okay. It's like, you know, if you've got a good personality, a good character, you shouldn't need to use manipulation tactics to get a partner. Or if, like, I mean, they say stuff like women like bad men all the time. That's not true. The majority of women do not want to be treated badly, okay? But if a woman actually did have some problem that makes her actually attracted to bad men, well then, instead of giving guys advice on how to treat a woman badly, I would say, like, you know, that woman needs to get some sort of help, or she needs to do some self-reflection to realise why she's attracted to bad guys. Not a case of, well, all men should start acting bad, then they can be attractive to these women. It's stupid. It's so goddamn stupid. Okay, Brian says, like, oh, but they don't have any alternative. It's like, well, okay, that's a fair point, but it still doesn't mean that, like, you can't criticise their community, or that, you know, like, if they're giving advice that is harmful to men, like, we're still not good. Saying, like, well, it's the only community there is. It's like, well, if it's toxic, it's not helping anybody.